"Do yourself a favor," Peer Gynt announced. "Stay away from trolls." Now trolls were the strange creatures who lived in the mountains. Some were dwarfs, and some were giants. And the hunters looked at Peer Gynt and laughed. "Why?" one of the hunters grinned. "What's the matter with trolls?" Peer Gynt answered in a serious voice. "They are evil, ugly creatures with some very sloppy habits, believe me." He shuddered. "Why? They think nothing of walking around with their heads tucked under their arms." "That's quite a trick," another hunter said. "I agree," Peer answered sourly, "but it does nothing to improve their looks." Peer Gynt couldn't understand why the hunters were teasing him. But the hunters didn't trust him. Peer Gynt was a lad who was known to stretch the truth more than a little. Peer stood up and walked through the door. "Where are you going?" the hunters wanted to know. "Hunting, where else? It's going to be night soon. It is not safe to go out after dark." "I'm not afraid," Peer grumbled as he left the cabin. It was still light, so Peer decided to make his way to the hut, high in the hills. But once Peer was in the hills, darkness came suddenly, as Peer ran against an object on his trail. Bending over, he began to feel along the ground. Something cold, slimy, and slippery. "Ugh, what in the world is this?" Out of the darkness, a strangely hollow voice replied. "It is I, the Boyg." Peer shivered. The Boyg? Everyone knew the Boyg was a troll with the power. Shuddering, he returned to his side and tried to walk around the invisible blob on the road. "Who's there?" Peer asked, hoping to get a different answer. "It is I, the Boyg," came the same eerie call. Peer did not speak again. Instead, he stumbled through the darkness, trying to find a way past the Boyg. At last, he found a roundabout path that led to the hut. Peer sighed with relief and continued on his journey. Reaching the hut, "Now I'm safe." Inside the shelter, Peer felt quite secure. Suddenly, his hand came in contact with something cold and slippery. "Who's there?" Peer demanded angrily. A loud roar of laughter split his eardrums. "It is I, the Boyg." "This is too much," Peer shouted. "There's only one way to get rid of you," he muttered. Just to be sure, he asked once more, "Who's in here with me?" "The Boyg, the Boyg," came the chuckling reply. Peer took his gun, aimed, and fired 3 shots. "Pull the trigger again, one more time," the mocking voice of the Boyg begged. Peer knew better than that. But with the first touch of daylight, Peer Gynt was able to relax at last. The troll was dead and was lying beneath his feet, looking visible. Peer ran, and he could hear the trolls laughing him from the surrounding hills. Terror gave his fleet wings. He burst into the cabin where the hunters were getting ready to start the day's hunt. "What have we here?" Breathlessly, Peer told him what happened during the night. "Invisible, you say? A big blob? Come with me to the hut. You'll see that I'm telling the truth." Shaking their heads, the hunters went up to the path to the hut. But there was no sign of the great Boyg inside. "That was quite an adventure, eh, Peer?" one of them said. "It happened, it really did," Peer insisted. The hunters may not have believed him, but there were other people who did. Peer spent many years spinning his tales, and each time he told his story, it became a little more fanciful. Does it matter? After all, how many people have enough imagination to dream up an invisible blob called Boyg?